Good morning. All right, so markets are back up here this morning. So they're kicking and screaming, so to speak, to hold this market in place, possibly take it higher next week. Yet to be seen. We'll see where it closes. You can see where my cursor is on the daily chart. Um, Now gapping above yesterday's red bar. And so into the close yesterday, right? Yesterday was like I'd call it a commission generator kind of thing. Frog in a blender. I said just whipping back and forth and down and all the way back up. And then minutes before the close, it, you know, moved down quite sharply. Overall, it was what we expected or anticipated to happen yesterday. Not all of this, but just basically a consolidation kind of a day. Spiders under the 50 right there, the unfilled gap below. And it was just a go nowhere kind of a day. But on a 5 minute chart, as always, things can be relatively large or dramatic in the smaller scheme of what's going on. So now, we see this consolidation that's building. One of our thoughts or comments yesterday was, if this can hold up in different markets, of course, not so much this one, but some of the ones that were more beaten down, um, can hold up for 2 or 3 days without filling the gap, that would be a positive, and we could look for maybe some more upside. So I wouldn't pick the spiders because they got all this congestion up above, but some of the ones that led the way down could be the ones that could start to lead the way up. So it's just going to sideways consolidation. Let me just slide this over a little bit. You can see prices are starting to move a little bit higher here. And so gapping above, the next reference point is not far above, right? As we look over to the left to see where prices might move up to from where they are, pre-market. Um, they're not far from what we would call their destination. So in 2020 hindsight, yesterday was just slight, sloppy consolidation. There was the gap up day, went a bit higher, blah, blah, blah. And now coming up here where we anticipate sellers are going to be. And so from here, we'll just drag that up here. Prices gapping higher. What should happen is if prices pull back into here, there should be buyers that would attempt to take it back up there. Common sense says if they pull back and fail and move under that low, it opens up the door into the unfilled gap or void. So a higher trading range moving up toward next resistance where there's going to be sellers. And, you know, I don't think they're going to get much higher, but if they could go sideways there for 20, 30 minutes, whatever, maybe into lunchtime, sometimes at lunchtime, prices will make an advance, especially if they don't go down. So one of our sayings, so, was like, well, why did it go up? Well, it went down, it went up because it didn't go down. And you say, well, yeah, that's pretty obvious, right? Well, yes and no. There is some substance to the statement, meaning, prices gap up, they're near resistance. We know that there should be buyers on pullbacks toward this support area. And the thought behind that is, well, if they're lurking down here, it's gapping up. There's always going to be people that are going to sell the gap, looking for a gap fill. And if it doesn't go down there, and everybody begins to recognize that, hey, this thing's not going down and it's at resistance, I'm not going to get filled down here. If it starts inching up, I should buy it. Well, buying breakouts into this probably won't make a lot of sense. If it consolidated here and then the next move up, things start to come together. Right now, it's like, okay, we're still in this slop. and potentially turning this downtrend into a sideways trend. We'll see where it ends. Overall, I would just say it's sort of a mess. Long heard the inflation, such and so on, and cuts or no cuts and whatever. And, this wide, whippy consolidation is uncertainty, schizophrenic, call it what you want. It's just kind of patterns that, there's just don't make any sense to try and trade them until they calm down. And, and if this begins to tighten up over here, and I don't know an exact amount of time, but just bar by bar analysis will tell us, what's happening here as to what the next direction is going to be, whether this is just flip-flopping around at resistance and it's going to make the next nosedive, or whether it goes sideways here, ready to move higher. So the short answer is we just don't have enough information here to make any trading decisions other than zero DTE credit spreads or intraday trades. But from a day-to-day swing trading point of view, leave it alone, other than just recognizing what, the broader markets are doing here, right? Which we'll take a look at others. All right, so I'll do SPX here early today. So we looked at SPY. We know it's gapping up near resistance. This was yesterday, and I said, either one is unlikely to be touched, but let's see where we are today. Things are up. See where that puts us as far as likelihood of not being touched. So 5,900 on the downside. It's a whole number. If prices were to start coming down, ideally getting below the whole number would be ideal. So it's gapping up here. Not like it's a no-brainer distance away. We always have to assess as the market opens. Now, the upside could be a no-brainer, 60-40. I think it is. I'm looking at the chart here. So from SPX, we see the resistance to get to the next resistance, and to get from yesterday's close all the way up there would be a substantial move. What's going to drive that up there? Well, buying, of course, but there's no economic news to drive it. So things are just, I think, just reacting to this initial gap up that happened a few days ago. There was the red day. We already covered the back and forth yesterday. And so I think it's kind of tricky as to which way things might go here, other than just watching what happens bar by bar in the first, 15 minutes or so. But looking at the futures give us a better indication. So not really a 1, 2, 3, 1 inside, not inside body, and it's moving up toward the 50 resistance here, breaking out. Let's look over here. So potentially, maybe it gets up to that pivot, and on a short-term basis on the 5-minute chart, you'd look at this little shelf here where it consolidated and continued to move higher as your first little support area that should not be violated, and maybe it can continue higher. And the 50, just looking where the 50 is lined up, the 50 is almost lined up with that pivot little congestion area on the 65 minutes. So you always got to make sure that your moving average, which is subjective, is lined up with something real, prices. Is this the absorbing supply analogy? It's not really. I mean, look, there's always some absorbing supply if there's resistance, but this is a example, a sloppy one, of creating support. So this blast up that occurred created a void below. This is what's called, I don't want to do that. Getting the right thing. Why is it drawing all the way? Oh, I got this set up to automatically extend. Okay. So if we drew a little box around here, these are good lessons for the green room at lunchtime when there's no trading because, it's the morning here. And but if you ask me, of course, but this little area here, we'd look at as being minor support, which is subjective because prices went down and went up. I talked about this yesterday in the room, right? Neutralizing. But this is an example of creating support. Pivot, little move down, higher pivot low, creating support. And so now as it moves up, it's an example of creating support where there is none because of the void versus I don't know, find an example like this here would be an example of absorbing supply because it runs up. It's creating some support too, but it's in the area of resistance, right? This has nothing, right? This is a little short-term move up. So the sideways price action and then this little blip down and pop back up again, is absorbing the supply. Bar by bar analysis, you have a breakdown failure. You got to put together the concepts to come to a point of making a decision that you're going to do something. It's not just one thing. We explain in MT Live, consistent basis. So, okay. So if it was to reach here and go sideways for several hours, then you would say it's absorbing supply, or just saying, hey, that's bullish price action. Because it's at resistance and it's not going down. Right? It's at resistance and it's not going down. And so we look at price action and objectively monitor what it's doing with our concepts or tools. So, just back to what's going on here, this is going to come up to the 50. Let's look at other things because taking a little more time here. NASDAQ futures up 300, right? That's like, wow. Look at the charts. They're a mess. If you're a connect the dots aficionado, if you connect these two dots, it's coming up to your line. If you connect down here, well, I guess it's still coming up to your line. So, line drawers, diagonal line drawers, maybe would say, oh, it's coming up to resistance. But again, you can see how subjective that is. And if we connect the dots, here's your resistance. Now, this is clearing that high. Maybe it can keep going up. But it's getting extended here in the short term. All right, let's move it along because it's getting late. So transports, probably reached the 50. This held up, some things broke down. That's moving up. There's Qs here. Just accelerating higher up into their destination. There's a lot of messy charts. Interest rates. I want to show you something here. So here it's pulling back into, here was this minor support, major support, and it's pulling back into an area where buyers are going to show up here. Okay, and you can see it's a little, they already are starting to turn. However, look at this. As far as interest rates, so downtrend, right? Deep retracement. Look at the 10-year, right on this huge major support level and this reversal on the weekly time frame. So now, can this absorb supply in this resistance area, which would then lead us to think it's going higher? So if bond prices are going higher, interest rates have to go lower right? Potentially below this area, which potentially leads us back to, well, different markets. Can this tighten up over the next couple of days? Interest rates pull back and markets push up, rejoicing Biden out, Trump in, new Trump rally, which probably from the S&P point of view doesn't go all that far, but who knows? Maybe it makes new all-time highs. And our internals have some gas in the tank. This has moved up to a short-term extreme, but that's good after this bounce. Our sentiment internals are not in an extreme yet, but if we do get interest rates moving lower and the marks up, yes, we're going to get the next sell setup from our internals, yet to be seen. Okay. So that being said, I think that's enough for today. I'm sorry I didn't go over, but you can see gold is down. Uh, oil is down a little bit, which also will help. The markets kind of hold up here. Bitcoin's up a bit, and but up near resistance. It's just a trading range. So let's see how this day turns out. And hey, we're off on Monday. We'll be back Tuesday. All yours, Nan.
Good morning. So usually the media, because I got nothing to talk about, is saying, oh, markets are up on XYZ. I just fill in the blank. I didn't hear him once today say what the markets are all euphoric about today. And we all afternoon from like 3 to 4 p.m. we were talking about the four horsemen, how they were consolidating, what we wanted. IWM here consolidating at resistance. And so Alex mentioned RSP, the levered one. So this was a closing breakout. So for new trades, as of yesterday's close, our favorite swings were going to be RSP, and I like diamonds, because they were up here with a big old void. And now the gap. Okay, my bad. Okay, so it's this IWR. I got in here somewhere. Okay, yeah, my bad. I just had an Otis alarm go off, bottoming pattern, Hershey alarm go off, Climo. So, I'm disappointed that we're up so much because I had a bullish bias, and then the markets just had a little, pull back into the close. I mean, which was fine, but ideally we would have opened up in a narrow range, flat up a little, down a little. But that's that. We'll still find things to do. No, don't worry. Like this one, OGN, we posted as a long. That looks great. Bottoming pattern, 180, closing breakout. XME, up alarm. We're already in this, so I tighten the stop. Daku alarm. I've been watching this. It's making the turn on the daily, and look, I like the weekly buy setup. So I'll probably wait, put this in the weekend letter. Mr. Bitcoin's up. There was some news about, they said Trump's one of his 100 executive orders is going to do some pro Bitcoin stuff. And I think I read they're having some $2,500 Bitcoin dinner. I don't know, but I am assuming that's why Bitcoin's gapping all-time highs here. So then I looked at Mr. gapping up. So I posted this as a 0 DTE put spread. And then, around 10 o'clock, we'll see what it's doing. And then I'll consider one for next week also. All right, so pre-market, I posted a lot of updates to positions. Oki we're in. Mick we're in, had an up alarm, move stop, break even. Cuervo Gold, we had this as a long, and I said hold off yesterday. Shoot, I mean it didn't trigger, so I can't. I woulda, coulda. But look, that's a gap breakout now. Let's watch that on a pullback. Window, other computer, diamonds. You know, my alarm went off, obviously. POAI alarm. You know, there's been a lot of these that have blasted very deep retracements, making the turn. You know, 30-minute high. My alarm went off at 140 here, pre-market. Yeah, Steven, I just typed that you know, Biden every day, he's doing whatever he can to burn the building down. And so I kind of jokingly said, is he giving them another $8 billion? Is that why it's gapping up? I don't know. It's a question. I really don't know. But this thing's been such a friggin' dog. I think the last 8 billion he gave him was right around here, and it gapped up and just tanked. So even 8 billion over here didn't help him. I don't know. There's nothing to do with it now. All right, let me go to earnings. Those are all my alarms. JB Hunt, nasty gap. I got it here in the bottom right, but it could 30-minute high, 0 DTE. Today's Friday. Ozark, gap's too big. Yeah, there's a lot of regional banks here. TFC 4650, gap's too big. I mean, I was looking at XLF pre-market. Look at this thing, what's ripping here. That's an amazing gap over resistance. But you know, there was no continuation pattern like the RSP had. Um, Slob. No. Actually zero DTE call spread. 30-minute low, the 42s. Fast 7250, gap in a no man's land. Could be a zero DTE condor. If there's any juice. Wit, no pattern, you're gone. High band 17. Look at this, could be a 30-minute high. Target 1750. I like the gap up, and it's like, you know, a little bull flag consolidation here. We'll come back to that. RF. We'll come back. CFG gapping down, nothing. WBS, nothing. SIFI is actually a 1-2-3 that's gapping down. So this is a candidate for, let's see if it can recover the gap down. So I got an alarm at 320. And this is just a miscellaneous list I got here now. Well, let me start down here. All right, Hershey, that was our Climo. Look at this thing, gap breakout, BTCT. Now this, my recollection is this is an education company. And then they put the word Bitcoin in their name, and that's that's what caused this blast off. I mean, if I were still in graduate school, finance class, I would do, or doctorate, I would do my doctorate on crowd psychology. I mean, their fundamental, to my knowledge, didn't change one iota. And this thing went from $2 to 26 because you put the word Bitcoin in your name. You need a psychologist degree. Let's see what freaking idiots are doing that. All right, RR, another little rocket ship. I'll see if we can get a 1-2-3 for Tuesday. XOM, I saw the guy talking, the CEO. You know, it's a 1-2-3, but up 3 bars, no interest. Mister, we talked about VST gapping down, could be a zero DTE call spread. Crowd gapping up, but we don't buy breakouts from the bottom of the range to the top. So we wait for a pullback because it's a bullish weekly. LMT, look, nice gap breakout from a bottoming pattern. Climb a weekly. I like LMT. I got that in the middle chart here. Otis, bottoming pattern, Delta, Delta. Needs to go side. If it can go, well, shoot the gap up. Never mind. Crocs, I think, got a downgrade. That looks bad. Look at Zoom. I posted in Telegram last night. So this was a wide range closing breakdown under the 20, under the 50. This is a bear flag. It's a counter trend, 30-degree channel consolidation and a downtrend. The weekly is a 1, 2, 3 after breaking down. So I would love for this just to have a little inside bar today, or take out yesterday's high and trade and close with a topping tail. And I will be all over this on Tuesday. All right, Mick, we already talked about. POAI, we talked about. DHR, I posted. We actually had this as a long idea back here, and I canceled it on the deep retracement, these tails. But now it's an engulfing bar closing breakout. And look, now it's gapping up over the entry. So DHR, wait 5-minute high. All right, I got a couple of alarms going off right now, man. Wow, that was weird. All these alarms going off 5 seconds before they open. All right, next I said, let's get out of this tick 12 to 90. That's very bullish. All right, next we have long calls. So yeah, we're gonna get out of that piece of garbage today. BMO I posted as a long over yesterday's high. HCC alarm, bottoming pattern. This I would, it's an inverse head and shoulder, but with a smaller right shoulder, which means there's resistance there. But I like it. I like it. All right, LMT coming in. I'm gonna put this could be a 30-minute higher. Put that there. NUE. Yeah, we're already in it. I will join you 30-minute high. NUE, we're already in it, but yeah, I with big old gaps like this, I just don't have an interest in new longs unless they're beautiful, and this one is. But at a minimum, I would wait 5-minute high. Just I don't trade in the first 5 minutes as a general rule, particularly with the market up so much. All right, so yeah, that looks great. Let me go through all these alarms. All right, XME. I don't know why my alarm went off. So I will just reset it. I 59. Yeah, I don't know why mine. Oh, I had a 60 alarm go off. That's why. 59.5. A Capri alarm. 30-minute high. Gap breakout. I'm going sideways, and I like that this traded under this bar. extended on the 15, so 30-minute high. Oki alarm. And that's an early alarm, so let me just reset it. 109 and 107.50. UNM alarm, so we're in the back half triggered. We did a half yesterday. BMO is triggering officially, 99.39. See why I don't, get excited on new longs with a big gap up. Yeah, Valley looks like a bottom. Yeah, I like it. You can buy it right here. Stop under this 15-minute base, which looks like yesterday's low. Yeah, I like it. Oh, nice, Bill. Yeah, that R's never triggered, but yeah, nice job. You got the benefit of the gap. TSLL. We bought this the other day. It's a Tesla bull call debit spread. And DHR, I said let's wait 5-minute high, so that would be 243.05. Fun PHUN, I gave as naked puts. The puts were massive. Now I would never enter here based on it hasn't broken out, but these puts are massive. All right, it just dropped the bid. I'm going to put my order out at 70. Makes me low offer. Tell you if I get filled. All right, DHR 243.06. All right, Mister was a gap and go, so I seriously doubt we got filled. Man, the sun looks like it's going to 400 today, and then 420 next week. That's a nice gap breakout right there. Shop. Yeah, the thing I don't like, Alex, is these are very small, narrow bars. And so you don't have a good reversal range expansion yet. All right, I got filled on that fun short puts. Zoom alarm, but I'll put it on the list. I like Zoom better just because it's weaker and I got that one little topping tail. So 30-minute low. I'm not going to rush into it, but this looks good to me. Okay, HCC, I'll just set an alarm. Let me put Zoom there. HCC. Oh, new alarm 5480 or 85. I really don't want it to trigger today. ULCC. Yeah, yeah, it's a bull rectangle. Yeah, bullish weekly, monthly. Yeah, bull rectangle. Stop yesterday's low. Looks good. Frontier Group. Whatever the heck that is. Capri, let me set a new alarm. 24. Frontier. Ah, that's where my buddy works. Bat 2-1. In fact, I'll verify it just by giving him the symbol, and then he'll tell me. Hey, Steve, quick quiz for you. Do you remember Frontier Airlines symbol in the 90s? Don't cheat. Okay, now then I'll open it up to the rest of the group. Does anyone know? You know why I know? I actually started trading, uh, other than with your Raymond James broker, with Wade Cook. And he had this beeper and he loved selling puts and covered calls. And so I think one of my first trades was a covered call on Frontier Airlines. And it was FRNT. That was Frontier Airlines. All right, Oki up alarm. Let's move stop below. 768. It's been a nice little winner here. Hey, Sam, we sold a third of Oki, so how much do we have left? All right, cool. All right, you're on the ball today. OGN. Is this triggering? GN over 1620. Wait, is that right? Yeah, oh yeah, that's a go. Yeah, looks great. Market, still coming in, but looks great. Right, okay. Alex, what do you think of when I say okie? No, okay, well, then there's no right answer, no wrong answer. But I think of nice red wine. Okie dokie. All right. All right, this looks man friggin' tastic. I just don't like the market coming in. All right, see why I said wait at least 5 minutes on NUE because of the market. Oh, Yext is stopping out. Yeah, that was a failed little bottoming pattern. Get the $3 calls that expire today. I'm in the $6 calls. All right, so we're out at 40 cents intrinsic value. I said 5 minute high, um, 5 minute high, but 30 is better. Why? Because then it's just churning here for 30 minutes, 15 more, 9:45. Because then 30 minutes gives us a better handle of the four horsemen. Are they gonna to buy us from after the gap up? Hmm. Yeah, that's a little deep for me. I like Doki, Doki, and red wine is my first association. Do you know who the Muskegee Airmen are? Yeah, it was a movie, correct. Weren't they all black? Was that the first? Was that the first black pilots? Yeah, it was a good movie. Would I thought we stopped at a clove. Yeah, we did. It's not on the thing. It kept going, but see this tail right here, that deep yesterday we stopped out under right there. Look, 385 was our stop from yesterday. This 15-minute support. I didn't, we stopped it at a profit. Yeah, P51s. Yeah, those were nice back then. UNM up alarm. Update this. That's 15. 15 UNM 37. Yeah, this looks great. Unum looks great. In fact, I'm going to stop here now. 73.78. Do y'all see any zero DTEs? I'm just glancing up at the fangs, and Tesla's the strongest. The other ones are whipping around crazy. AON, right? I really don't know how the market's going to react. Hey, are the futures open all day on Monday or abbreviated? Because I'd be curious to watch the futures during the during the day, you know? Yeah, this would be a fantastic 1, 2, 3 for Tuesday. It's up a lot. Well, yeah, now that I resize the chart, it's up a lot. We like 1, 2, 3s from consolidation, but there's a big old void. That's why I wouldn't do it today. Let's see if it can close like this. I got a covered call on XME that's going to get called away today. Well, typically The futures are open partially. Sometimes till 10 a.m., sometimes till 1 p.m. So I don't know. Just thought maybe somebody knew. Because, yes, people are excited, in my opinion, that he's taken over the majority. Because, I mean, look at the Trump rally after, he got elected. But now reality is going to sit in. We got to see what his 100 executive orders are. What is he going to start barking? So that's going to shake the market a little. Where was it? New is holding well. So I'll do that 30-minute high myself. I'm not in it yet. Actually, I love selling zero DTEs on things I don't mind owning. So NUE, the 124, see, there's 0 by 55. So unless I put an offer out at 50, so let me go to next week. Yeah, the 120s. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to do the 120s right here for 70 cents. I'm going to do stock also. All right, so I'm in at 70. Yeah, that's where you get the truth. That's CME. They have a really good website. All right, so yeah. Um 5P, I got an alarm set. I got that didn't go off, but I remember yesterday I set an alarm. See, my bat 2-1 is giving me fray. Yeah, fray is extended. Here, Alex, I don't know. I'm not going to post this because there's some profanity, but I'm gonna show you what Bat 2-1 said. He's a funny boy and very active trader. He gives me a ton of ideas. But you know, yeah, I mean, I see what he's looking at. It's just a little extended here. I don't care, Robert. Tell me why I care. It was a 10-cent spread and I got filled midpoint. I did him naked. All right, then he's giving me B zone. Yeah, it's making a turn. See, I mean, this guy I trained. He worked in the advanced trading room with me with Greg. So, I don't take all this stuff, obviously, but we look at stuff the same. So yeah, if this can hold this, then yeah, beautiful bottoming pattern, daily, weekly, monthly. And this is one of our another under $10 stock things that this is a perfect entry. And that, who knows if it's going to keep going or not if you want to nibble now. In fact, I'll do that. I'm going to bid this eyeball in there. I'll bid 290. And checking puts, and there's nothing. Their cues look lower here. It could be a measured move lower on the 5 minute. 1, 2, 3. On the 15, but look, came down, bearish consolidation, price void. So all 5 minute horsemen are toppy, unfilled gaps. So careful on longs. Bitcoin over a 103,000 for something that somebody created on their computer. 7 more thousand, and it's what I paid for my boat for one friggin' coin. I just, you know, I mean, I won't trade Bitcoin, but as everybody knows, we trade the stocks and ETFs all day long. But I don't believe in Bitcoin, so I ain't buying it. Meta, Google, Microsoft all came down very hard on the 15 on support, but came down very hard. Yeah, it was that's a little launching pad. It's an inverse head and shoulder with a lower right shoulder. 124. I like that. Oh, wait, 477 is a tad tight. Um, but I like it. Why don't we wait to see how it closes? But yeah, it's on my list. SFM low alarm. Look, this thing, I wish we waited for a closing breakout. When you see things like this, when you see so many attempts to get through and, it can't do it, just wait for a closing breakout. So that triggered our entry yesterday over lunch. That's the new alarms. I have not, Steve. All right, we're no fill on Mister. So mixed up to south break even, but I'm gonna keep it on the list. If it holds right here, it's a 1, 2, 3. But it had a nice gap up this morning, which is why I moved up break even. Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be massive volume on an even 100, similar to a $10 one on the spinners. Zoom, look, Greg, you like this? Shoot, I mentioned it.
I would not do a whole lot on that. It's not near resistance.
Well,
So
right. I was just going to say my only difficulty is the stop because,
you don't have a good stop.
right, right. It would have to be the 20 MA, but even, whatever. All right, I'll wait. Right. What would make this so much better, and I said it pre-market, is if we went up and had a topping tail after taking out yesterday's high. Correct.
The best, what I see today as a potential opportunity is some semiconductors. They're consolidating near the high, the SMHs. And if it can get back up above the open, maybe some of these semiconductors will
I think
move
the
higher.
I think the daily on XLF looks better.
Well, how are you going to get on board that?
Well, you're talking about day trades. You're just going to find one, in the sector that looks good, like our BMO triggered. I gave that.
Something like Marvell going sideways. So far,
Mm-hmm.
it's still above the open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got an alarm in here somewhere. Yeah, I thought Marvell was comic books. Yeah, Tesla looks great. We're already in it, but looks great. Sure does. And then over the weekend, I'll do a put spread. Well, let me check zero DTE 417. Yeah, there's juice at 417. Wow. Or we can do $10 wide, Greg, 62. 417 is right under, kind of tight, but $10 away.
It's for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That resistance on the hourly though, so I wouldn't do a directional here. Again, we're already in it. But Don't like the 15-minute entry. Came down hard, but I like it as a no-brainer. Pittsburgh. I would do the 65.50 if they have them, or even 66. 66, 6 cents by 23. That's crazy. Spreads. And there's no juice for next week. Wow, Bill, look at your Cuervo Gold. Wow, you left some money on the table there. The Dow 30 is all green. There's three little reds under down less than $1. Hey, J, but it has earnings next week. Let's see, that's a beautiful 1, 2, 3 from consolidation bottoming pattern. Our TSLL up alarm. We have that bull call debits friend. So let's tighten the stop now. Oh, today's low, 28.98. Let's see where we're at because it went against us. 29.7. All right, so we're up a little, but not much. Does it went against us? Bitcoin 104,000. Hood. Hood. No, it's not all-time highs, but that's wow. An amazing run. Coin. What about Wigme? Nah, no pattern with me. This is like drillers. I mean miners. Mara, bottoming pattern, that'd be a foot screw. Yeah, let's do the 18s. Wow. Already 15 million shares in 45 minutes. Incredible. It's under 290. Yeah, I bought 100 shares at 288. Set an alarm, low alarm.